Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Nick Gray from Phandroid, and welcome to my messy office. Today we're going to be doing a smartphone camera comparison with the Pixel 4, which we're using right now to record, and last year's Pixel 3. Now, there are a lot of similarities between these two devices when it comes to the software and the image processing, but they do have some differences as far as the cameras go. So we're going to look at the specifications of these two devices to see how they actually stack up. But before we do that, I'd like to remind you that everything you see in this video is going to be recorded with these two smartphones. So make sure you keep an eye on the bottom left-hand corner to see which device is being used. So with that, let's take a look at the specifications.
Since the Pixel 4 is the newer of the two, we're going to start things off there. And on the back, you have a square camera module, which features two camera sensors, a standard 12 megapixel, and then a 2x telephoto that's paired with a 16 megapixel sensor. And then up front, Google's using a 8 megapixel front-facing camera to capture selfies. And as far as video resolution goes, you're looking at 1080p video at 30 frames per second from that front-facing camera, and the rear cameras can record 4K video at 30 frames per second. Now, the Pixel 3 from last year does have 3 sensors on the phone as well, but they're different than what the Pixel 4 has. On the back, you get a standard 12 megapixel sensor. This can record 4K video at 30 frames per second, just like the Pixel 4. And then up front, you actually get 2 cameras up there with a standard and then an ultra wide, which allows you to zoom out and get a lot more in the scene. And both of these can record 1080p video at 30 frames per second. So now that we're up to date on the specifications of the cameras on these two smartphones, we're gonna jump in and look at some side-by-side photo and video comparisons to see how they actually compare in real-world scenarios. Check it out. While recording video, the Pixel 4 really doesn't offer anything new over last year's Pixel 3. Both devices are recording 4K video at 30 frames per second, even though the processor inside the Pixel 4 can definitely handle that. The one advantage that you do get out of the Pixel 4 is that now you have the 2x zoom, which you can see right here, which does come in handy when you have deer just sitting in your backyard eating dinner. And to give you an idea of what the video quality difference is between these two devices, Google really hasn't done much to improve the quality of the video itself. As you can see, white balance on both of these devices is pretty close. It does tend to be on the cooler side, but it does really good with exposure, but you do not get 60 frames per second in 4K on either devices, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But the fact that Google's device, or the Pixel 4, can now zoom into that secondary sensor with a 2x zoom does come in handy from time to time when you want to get in closer to the subject. One of the things that I'm most excited about, though, with the video quality on the Pixel 4 is that they've made huge improvements to the audio quality from the microphones on this device compared to last year's Pixel 3. Switching over right now, you can hear there's a clear difference between these two devices and the audio that they're able to capture. And this is to give you a look at what the video quality is from both of these devices during low light conditions. Both of the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 4 record 4K video at 30 frames per second from the rear camera, which honestly is a little bit of a letdown since a lot of other devices can record 4K video at 60 frames per second. But Google does a really good job with the optical image stabilization, which is enhanced with electronic image stabilization on both of these devices as well.
And the video quality here from the front-facing cameras of both of these phones looks to be pretty similar at 1080p 30 frames per second, but the Pixel 3 does have one trick that the Pixel 4 doesn't have, and that's that ultra-wide angle lens, which isn't that much wider than what the Pixel 4 can capture, but it's still nice to have the option of that secondary sensor so that you can capture more in your scene. So that's going to do it for our camera comparison between last year's Pixel 3 and the brand new Pixel 4. Now I have to say, there is a lot to like about the new Pixel 4, especially with that 2x telephoto zoom on the back of the phone, and the fact that audio quality on this device is dramatically better than what you can get out of last year's Pixel 3. That being said though, photos and videos between these two devices are extremely close. The Pixel 4 does come out ahead in most situations, but the Pixel 3 can definitely still hold its own. That being said, the one feature that I do miss from the Pixel 3 is its ability to do this. Zoom out on the front-facing camera, giving you a wider field of view, something that the Pixel 4 just doesn't have. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think of the comparisons and which device you think takes better photos and videos. Don't forget to subscribe for more camera comparisons with the new Pixel 4, and we'll catch you in the next one.